Thank you everybody for joining us today. So as you've heard, we are being joined by Salimah Mamdani. She is entrepreneur, speaker, mentor of design professionals. She is the president of the Marketing Boutique Incorporated, a marketing firm that works with international brands in home reno, design, and decor. In 2017, she created a very successful program called the Fully Booked Designer. It's an online mentorship program for interior design business owners ready to build profitable 6- and 7-figure businesses. She is incredibly intelligent. She is going to bring you 5 opportunities today for recession-proofing your business. You won't be disappointed by this presentation. This session is being recorded, and I encourage you to put your questions over in the Q&A box. And if you'd like to chat amongst one another, by all means, please use that chat. But don't forget to put your questions in the Q&A so Salimah can get them. And with that, Salimah, I will let you take over.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I was saying this earlier. I don't know if it got on the recording, but I want to say it for the record. I love coming here and presenting to Mydoma. You guys always have the best group and the best questions. So this is a brand spanking new presentation that I prepared for you guys just because I didn't want to disappoint the crowd that we always get here. So without further ado, let's tackle the 5 strategies that you need to adopt right now in order to recession-proof your design business. Now, many of you have heard of me. Maybe you've seen a presentation or two. So for those of you who have not heard of me before, I'm going to quickly walk you through just a quick introduction of who I am. Sarah already told you I'm the creator of a wonderful program, in my opinion, called Fully Booked Designer, where we help interior designers, decorators, stagers, turn designers, bring in 6- or 7-figure income on a consistent basis. Our clients last year alone collected over $5 million in revenue. And that is like, it's a number that we keep tracking, and it keeps going up and up and up. And I'm super proud of it, because that to me shows the number of lives we have changed as a company and the impact that we're making in this world. So I can tell you hand on my heart, when it comes to helping you attract and convert high-end design clients, we really have the best content, coaching, community of designers who we love to play with on a weekly basis. Just to give you an idea, a little bit of a background. So in 2008, the reason why this topic is so near and dear to my heart about recession proofing, I have a background in marketing. I am not a designer. This is me coming out of the closet. I am not an interior designer. I was working on the corporate marketing track. And then in 2008, my son was less than 2 years old. And I decided that's not the life I want to live. I don't want to be working like a slave, making someone else rich, and not have the opportunity to see my children grow. So I literally walked away from a very cushy corporate job. I had like a parking spot in the big parking lot. I had tech people at my fingertips. I used to be able to travel and fly all over the world for this job. And I walked away from all of that so that I could be with my family. Little did I know that that was in July of 2008. And if you guys recall, August, September, that's where the big market crash started to happen. No one knew what was coming. And that was a time when I can tell you, no one was hiring a marketing person to be added to their payroll. So I had nowhere to go but up. Like, I had to figure out a way to attract clients, to pitch my services, to price my services, to continue to deliver my services, to build my website, to do actually at that time, there was no social media. I was going to say social media, but to figure it all out on my own. Yes, I have a marketing background. Yes, I have an MBA, but that's not the stuff they teach you in MBA school. So I did. I went out and created a marketing consultancy, which later turned into a 7-figure marketing agency. And we worked with the who's who of the home reno, design, and decor industry. We worked with retailers, brands, manufacturers, construction, windows and decor. We worked in fabrics, we worked in appliances, as well as furniture, of course, and lighting, and a plethora of different businesses in this segment. And I really got to understand, what does it take to attract a consistent flow of leads for my clients, because we were providing marketing services to these top name brands. And then in 2016, 17, I was diagnosed with an autoimmune disorder, and I decided to close down my agency. At that point, I had 10 people working under me full time. I had a huge roster of amazing clients, and I decided to spend some time taking care of my health, and then also figure out what's my next move. So I am a serial entrepreneur, as people like to call that, but basically, necessity is the mother of all invention. I needed to figure out a better way of building an income. But not only that, this go around, I decided to create something that was very near and dear to me. I wanted to build a business where I was able to support people like me and helping them avoid making the types of mistakes I made in running this very busy, very entangled business. And so that's the level that I bring in terms of teaching and coaching interior designers. It's not just one-sided, all about marketing, marketing, and marketing. In fact, I'm going to quickly jump over to this slide and show you our coaching is built around the 5M framework that's proprietary to me. This is what I've built my business around. And so these are 5 M's that every business owner, designer or not, needs to consider as you are starting a business, growing a business, scaling a business, and leading a business. And so the 5M, the first one is your messaging. Messaging, how do you differentiate yourself in the marketplace? Or if not differentiate, how do you make yourself memorable so people can remember who you are? Amongst, maybe there's a lot of competition in the market that you have, or maybe there's no competition in the market, but sometimes people think that maybe you are just a color consultant, or they have an idea of what a designer should be, and that's maybe not you. So that's why we start with the messaging. How are you going to stand out? And that's what we call a signature service in my world. We help you craft a signature service statement that attracts your ideal clients forward and repels the ones that are not the right people for you. The second M in the 5M framework is marketing, right? You need a marketing system, not a once in a while when I feel like it, or when I'm in between clients kind of activity, but a repeatable marketing system that continues to generate awareness about your services and continuously bring in qualified leads without requiring you to be involved, like on a day-to-day basis, thinking of a new campaign, thinking of a new idea, thinking of a new channel, right? Speaking of which, I just actually finished our next level group call. We were meeting with our designers who were with us for 12 months. I can't tell you that just how incredible the results have been. Actually, I'll hold off on that. Let me just finish the 5M. I'm all over the place because I'm so excited. The third M is money, obviously. How do you reach bigger revenues each year? By shifting how you deliver your services. Maybe it's by charging premium fees. Maybe it's about adding additional sources of revenue without losing your profit margins, and also without working yourself to the bone. So there's a healthy mix, and I'm actually going to be talking about that a lot today as well, the money part. The fourth M is momentum, right? Momentum in your business, right? Many people that I talk to, many designers who come to us, right? I just need 1 or 2 clients to get me through. No, that's not it, right? You want to start creating systems and structure and processes in your business so that your business can thrive and operates like a well-oiled machine and no longer requires your day-to-day involvement. That's called momentum in your business. And the fifth one, this is something that they don't teach you in MBA school. They definitely don't talk about it, outside of a lot of the circles that I've been in. And this is something that I really had to figure out on my own the hard way. And that's the mindset of a CEO. So in order for you, wherever you are in your business, you need to have a set of beliefs, goals that will help you succeed, or at least influence the outcomes that you are getting, right? Sometimes, we stay in our comfort zone and we keep thinking or coming at a problem from the same level of thinking that was given to us maybe when we were 7 years old by our parents. Conversations around money, conversations around our abilities, conversations around our self-worth. Those things can then become the filters that we see the world in. And then when we are all grown up and have our own businesses, they continue to rule the decisions and how we're operating. So having the right mindset will help you influence and make better decisions and hopefully have different outcomes. What I'm getting at is this 5M framework is what we implement with our clients every single day that they're with us. You cannot grow a business just on marketing strategies and marketing tactics alone, because if your money stories are not right, like if you've got limiting beliefs around money, or if you're not charging the right amount of money, right, and your marketing is working really, really well, and you've got a lot of people coming in, you're going to have what we call burnout, right? We have so many designers who come to us and are like, I'm completely burnt out. If I get one more client from your marketing system, Salimah, I'm going to shoot myself. So we don't want you to do that. We want you to look at your business from all these 5 facets, right? Not just one of like, I need more marketing. I need to do more marketing. Because when you have those 5 facets working together, you start to see results like this. So on the left-hand side, I'm going to show you like a little snapshot of a tracker that we give our clients that helps them track their activities, their marketing activities, and how it's resulting into the revenue. And so as you can see on the left-hand side, when they're first starting out, they set a goal of like having 2 or 3 clients a month, and maybe they want to have a monthly income of 10,000, 15,000. And then we give you marketing activities, plus we work with you on your mindset, we work with you on your pricing, and we work with you on the mindset so that you're showing up the right way for yourself and your business. There's no friction involved so that you can hit those big numbers. And so you can see some of these people really blew those targets right out of the ballpark, right? And then we also have a 12-month program where we continue to give you more support, more encouragement, more ideas, more implementation, more accountability, so you can reach bigger and bigger goals. So it's not just, you're not creating a business in vacuum, you're creating a business that's sustainable, that's going to thrive, not just in this recession, but beyond that. What's interesting, I want to share with you, is that this snapshot on the left-hand side is from our 2020 cohort. Remember, 2020, the world had shut down, right? Actually, this is 2021. I'm mistaken. It's 2021 cohort. So this is coming right in the middle of the recession where people are like, I can't get any clients whatsoever. And we had people making $57,000 in 10 weeks with us, right? And then this other snapshot is from January of 2022, where people are making $41,000 in 1 month and continuing to grow with this framework that we have given them. And I was beginning to tell you about my conversation that we just had with our next level people. And right now, I'm just coming out of this meeting and we're looking at, numbers, and people are like, it's the 15th of the month and 2 people in my next level group have already billed over $50,000 in revenue. One person has billed $137,000 in revenue. And in December, when you think that no one is hiring, it's Christmas Eve, it's New Year's Eve, we were seeing celebrations like, I just signed a contract for 15K. I just signed a contract for 10K. And so the momentum continues when you have the 5M working together, right? So this is like the 5M framework is going to, like if you were taking notes or if you're watching this on replay, it's going to sustain you no matter what the market is. Remember, I started my business in a recession, and I've been continuously doubling my business even during pandemic, as have our clients. One of our clients started with us in 2020, and she earned $75,000 that year. In 2022, she earned $750,000. In less than 3 years, she 10x'd her business. And so how does this happen? It's not from doing 10 times the marketing. I'm going to say this again. You're not going to see 10x results from 10xing your marketing or your paid ad spend. It's a culmination. It's a combination of those 5 M's, right? So that is key and it's critical information that all of you guys should be aware of, that this is not just like the information that I'm going to share with you today. This is not just to help you kind of get 1 or 2 clients. You want to build a business in the long term, in the long run, and that's how you do it. So I don't like to do the doom and gloom a lot, but I'm also not a Pollyanna. I'm quite a realist. There's no denying we are in the midst of a recession, right? But we're not here to panic, and we're not here to like just talk about the headlines. I'm not going to read them individually. We're not only in a, recession or softening of the market in North America, but also I was in Europe in September, and there was like every day in the news, they were talking about the war in Ukraine and how that affected the pound at that time, completely collapsed. But now the war in Ukraine is affecting their energy costs. So the prices are going to go up, supply is going to go down. Then there's the interest rates. So the housing market is now struggling. And so many of you who kind of hitched your wagon with a realtor to give you leads, or many of you who are like, thinking of putting 1 foot in staging and 1 foot in designing, have to pay attention to what's happening in the market on the real estate side too. But all around, this is going to be a tough year. So what I want you to think about right now, if you have not yet done so, it's still not too late, is to create a plan, right? First and foremost, you need to have a plan in place. The one thing I want you to do, if you don't have like a multi-page plan, and in fact, if you want to, I can give you a link for a 3-hour planning session that I hosted last year. How do I do this? Let me know if this works. This was a 3-hour planning session where we also gave a 23-page workbook that goes with it. Like we don't take planning lightly, people, right? We want to create multi-million-dollar businesses. This is what it's going to take, is what, first of all, start with your year-end goal. What is your goal in terms of your sales number? How many of you guys have actually thought about a number that you want to hit this year? I'd love to know in the chat, yes, no. And if you can tell me the number, even great, because then we are all witnessing your growth and witnessing your success, right? We can all celebrate it a bit. So let's start first and foremost about what is your year-end goal. Second, what are the 4 biggest things you want to achieve? Not 3, not 7, 4. And the reason why I'm saying 4 is then you can put one of each one of those into each quarter. You're not going to eat the whole elephant in one bite at a time. So the 4 biggest things you want to accomplish, you're going to spread it across 4 quarters this year, right? And then the things that you need to ask yourself as you're preparing this plan, if you're not going to get that plan from us, you're going to just answer these 4 questions. What is the support system you need to make this, and this big goal a reality for you? Do you need to hire an assistant? Do you need to hire a coach? Do you need to hire, sign up for Mydoma next? If you haven't done that, why not? What do you need to have in place? And then finally, what skills do you need to acquire or sharpen to help you reach the goals? Not the same. Those two are not the same, right? Skills versus support, two different things. So just for those of you who didn't catch it, let me just check the chat. 100K is the first goal I read. Awesome. Alexia, 60K, 130K. I see you, Tara. That's awesome. Jan, 100K, 8K a month. Awesome. That's a 100K business. 8,333 is 100K, 6-figure business. Mercedes is 100K. Pascal, 150K. Congrats to all of you. And so again, if you haven't got yourself a more robust plan to really help you dive deep into it, grab this planner. We have that available. It is for $27. It's not going to break your bank. And that $27, we're donating it to a charity that's very near and dear to my heart. So that's that. And that's the end of my presentation, y'all. I promise to give you the 5 strategies that are going to help you with the recession. So I'm going to fire away those right now. The reason why I wanted to start with the 5M framework is I want you to first and foremost be prepared that in any market, no matter what you're doing, if you want to scale from where you are today to the next level, you need to think about your business from all those 5 facets, right? The messaging, the marketing, the money, the momentum, and the mindset. Are they all in alignment to that big goal? And secondly, I also wanted you to understand that you've got to have a goal. Don't shy away from making a big goal in a year of a recession and all of the other cray-cray stuff that's going on. You need to have a goal because that becomes your North Star. That becomes your compass because you now know what you're working towards. Remember when I started my business in 2008, I had nothing. Didn't have the 5M framework. I didn't have a coach. I didn't have anything, but I did have a goal and what I wanted to accomplish that year. And so this is why you need to start with a plan first. Now, 5 strategies that you need to adopt on top of that. So these strategies, I want you to pay attention to these because these are going to be, you're going to sprinkle them in that marketing plan. Cool. The first one that I want you to start adopting, start getting used to, is becoming the market expert. And what do I mean by that? You right now are probably an amazing designer and you are a design expert, but it's different to be a market expert. And I've always said this, that interior design is a hyper-local business. Yes, there's the whole e-design component to it where you can work from the comfort of your home and work globally and all of that stuff. But interior design principally, traditionally, is a hyper-local business. And it's also a people business. And people like to hire people that they can relate to, they trust, right? So you have to make a concerted effort, no matter what market is doing, but in an economy where people are looking to really spend their money carefully, they want to work with people that they can trust, that they can like, they have a certain likability to them. You need to get out there and start engaging with your local market. So if you are, you've probably gone through this yourself in areas where you felt like you're deciding between 2 experts, say 2 accountants or 2 car dealerships. And the person you choose to give your money to is often the person that you just have a good feeling about, that you like, right? it's very hard for someone to trust you if they've never even seen you or heard from you. And right now, social media is the place where people go to check people out. So you need to get out there and build a reputable local brand. You always want to be seen as the local market expert. And so here's a few things you can do. Start creating content about the local area where you work, or maybe where you would like to work, right? Maybe your particular neighborhood is not so desirable. If you want to work in a nicer neighborhood of the town, start talking about that, start creating content around that, start sharing, what are the houses like? What are, the house style like? Is it all Tudor? Is it all modern? Are people doing a lot of tear downs? What's going on in that market? Highlight some of the local resources like your tradespeople, your showrooms, your retailers, your suppliers that are like, almost like your best kept secret. Highlight them. There is a lot that comes back at you energetically, but also you get a lot of social media juice from that as well. Sometimes you may want to review an establishment like a restaurant or a coffee shop, or if you like to work with people in like wellness and design, you might want to feature a local yoga studio, for example. So start talking about those areas that your clients are also frequenting. And then finally, find stories about your neighborhood. Now, this is not going to take you hours and hours and hours of your day to do. Maybe an hour a week will help you develop a couple of, pieces of content, some video, a post, and so on. And you bank it, and then you save it, and then you start sharing it on your social media, on your blog post, on your Google My Business page, all of those things, right? Because the next thing that I want you to be aware of and really, really embrace in this market, and in fact, this is not even a recession-proof advice, this is where I see the market trend going, is multi-channel presence. There used to be, marketing is cyclical, just like design. That's why I love working with you guys. Very cyclical, right? Used to be, people used to talk about being omnipresent. And then the tide shifted and we're like, double down on one channel only. And now we're starting to see this idea of multi-channel presence back again. Now, the good news in all of this is that it's much easier to embrace this multi-channel presence with a little bit of like a strategic plan. Again, the planner. And it's much easier to do it nowadays than it was, say, in 2008 or 2018. So in a soft market, you have to embrace all the channels because you don't know what your specific clientele is used to getting their information from right now. And so again, it doesn't mean that you have to spend every waking minute and hour creating content for Google and then Facebook and then Instagram and then TikTok, and then you got a blog and you got a newsletter. Yeah, you got to do all of this, but you're going to do it smartly this time. You're not going to do it like one-off pieces and one-off content creation. That's going to lead to exhaustion and burnout. And you're going to go, oh, what am I supposed to talk about now? So what I recommend, and this is something that we are going full on in our coaching program right now. Every single client is now sharing their multi-channel plans with us because we want to support them really embrace this strategy. It works really, really well when you do it right. So the first thing you can start with is look at your website, right? We talk about interior design business being a local business. Your website is, and that includes like if you have a blog, if you have a portfolio page, if you have testimonies, that's fodder for SEO. That's fodder for local ranking. So you have to have this in your weekly, monthly plan to review and constantly update your website. When was the last time you guys updated your website? Tell me in the comments, because you're not alone. I'm with you on that one. But websites, we all feel like, oh my God, it was so much work, it was so much money, and it was so much time. And I'm so happy to be done and done with it. Done and done. No, websites have to be a living, breathing piece of your marketing toolkit. This is where your people are going to come to check you out. People are going to really get deeper with your content. And this is where they're going to connect with you as well. So you need to put this in your plan of having regular updates on your website, and things like blog, portfolio, testimonies help increase the ranking as well. Then the second thing I want you to start thinking about is including some sort of an email marketing channel, right? Email marketing channel has the best ROI, bar none, right? It's free. It's free. And so you need to stay top of mind and build relationships with prospective clients who maybe signed up for a lead magnet in the past, and they want to hear from you what's new in your world. It's a great relationship building tool for contractors and home builders that you're trying to get their attention. It's also a great way of a reminder, like a touch point with past clients. I had one client who stopped or completely stopped her email marketing, and we're like, you got to do this, and she did. And then the first time they sent it out, they had within half an hour an email back from a past client, who said, oh my God, I totally forgot. I've been meaning to call you. I need this done. How soon can you get started? And it was $18,000 email, right? Like $18,000 contract just from sending out an e-blast. So there's money in the couches, right? There's like coins sitting in there. That's definitely money there waiting for you to start utilizing. Third thing then is you're going to embrace social media. I'm not going to get into the love-hate relationship all of you guys have. I do too, but I run a global company now, and I wouldn't have met any of you guys had it not been for my social media. So I know the power that it has on my business. We can bring it down to like the exact dollar figure. We can tell where our clients found us from, and social media posts. You're going to need that to start bringing awareness and to create opportunities for your business in terms of engagement. Now, don't get disappointed if people are not DMing you, but they are checking you out. They will tell you that we saw you on social media, because here's what happens, right? Let's say I'm new to a city and I'm looking for an interior designer to help me. I might Google. I might Google and go top designers in Toronto, and a list of names will come up. And one by one, I'm researching them. I'm going to go to their website first. Where do I go from their website? Anybody? You click on the link for social media to see what are they working on now? What's their social presence like? And where else are they active? Is this website in line with the kind of stuff that they're showing on social media? Is it current? Those kind of things. Or you might have a client who's in the city. They're not new to the city, but they're looking for a designer. So they might go to a dinner party, or they might ask their friends around, or they might be on social media, and somebody can say, yeah, I worked with so-and-so and she was fantastic, and go call her. Very rarely do people just jump on a call and go, yeah, let's chat, you're hired because my friend recommended. I'm still going to take my time and research you, right? So I might go again, look at your website, but chances are I might even start with social media first. If my friend says you're an active designer, I could look you up online, on Insta and so on, and come to your website from there. If I like what I see, then I'm going to click on the Let's Talk button, right? Contact us button. So that's why it's important to have all of these channels updated and in alignment with each other, so that people aren't second guessing if you really are the designer that they need to hire. It should all line up. And then there's some other opportunities that designers can add to this, which is guest blogging, doing podcast interviews, doing Instagram takeovers, or like writing for a local publication, or, applying to be in a national publication and so on. So this is key. If you have been just kind of like really like creating a lot of friction around being on social media, you've neglected your email marketing, your website is a little bit dated, it's got some cobwebs on it, and people in general don't know who you are, and you've been getting a good, source of referrals, this is your chance right now to go multi-channel. It's very, very important. And you can do it very easily when I show you the next strategy. Now, how many of you guys are like, no, Salimah, no, we're not doing video. We're not doing video. The third strategy, and notice I've been going in a declining. So I started with number 5, 4, 3, cannot wait to show you what number 2, but number 3, it's video first communication. I want you to do a little test, and most people who are doing webinars will never say, grab your phone and check what's going on. But I want you to do this with me. Grab your phone and go on Insta, for example. And I want you to count how many scrolls before you get a video, and put it in the chat. Mine is 4. My 4th post was a video. The 5th one is a video. 6th one is a video. 7th is a video. 8th is also a video, and it's from Business of Home, which usually doesn't do videos. Tell me your numbers. Tell me. Yeah. First one, 5th one. Yes, 4 out of 5. Holy moly. So it's time. It's time to embrace video, and not just embrace it for like doing those TikTok reels, but really making a strategic decision for your company to be a video first communication company. It's a big ask. I know I'm asking for a big, bold commitment on that. Many of you guys are still like, oh my God, what does it involve? What does it take? So here's how you can really embrace this. You're going to use videos for social media, obviously. And also you can use this for blogs, and you can use it as like YouTube channel, or put it on your website. You can even share it on your LinkedIn. So the top of the pyramid, I want you to think about creating some big pieces of educational content. Things that you see are like the big trends, the big strategies, the big budgeting milestones or budgeting issues that you see when people are working with you. 5 big questions, those kind of videos, right? I want you to start thinking about what is it that your target audience needs to hear from you before they pick up the phone and book a discovery call with you. And then, so that video will most likely be a horizontal format. And you can use it on YouTube very well. You can use it on your website. You can even just put it right on the blog of your website, and you can have it transcribed as well for the Google search engine. Now actually you can search through videos as well. Then you're going to take that same video, you're going to hire a video editor on Upwork, Fiverr, or your niece or nephew. And you're going to turn it into short videos. They can turn that vertical space into that horizontal format into a vertical format very easily. It's very easy to do. And then you're going to post it on your Reels, on Facebook, on your Instagram. You're going to post it on your YouTube Shorts. You can post it on your TikTok. Yes, I said TikTok. And you can, so this is a great way to leverage that. Now, you can also do short videos with those, lip syncing and listables and the trending audio and all of that. But if you're new to the whole idea of starting with video, I'm giving you a shortcut first, and then you can go to the intermediate level of doing the lip syncing and having different outfits and different music and stuff like that. But do not delay on this one. Start doing short videos. I'll actually start with the big format and then splinter it into smaller pieces. The third way that you're going to use video as part of your communication is to do check-ins and follow-ups, right? On average, we need to follow up with people sometimes 8 times. You send out a contract, never hear back from them. You go, what's going on? So you want to do the check-ins, you want to do the follow-up. You can do it very, very quickly. Do a quick video and send it by text and you're done. Instead of sitting there on the phone going, what should I type? What should I write? Da, 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 da. You're done. And then the other one is, again, you can also embrace this as a video first communication strategy for your organization, is to do client updates. You can do that on your desktop. You can use a screen recording tool like a Loom or a Zoom or a BombBomb, and then just give them a weekly update of where you are on your project, and they would appreciate it. There's they get to hear your voice, they get to see the screen, and it's great. Works really well. Cool. So now the best for last. Story time, people. And I'm going to rush through this because I'm seeing the clock. So the number one strategy, and this is my wartime strategy. Remember, guys, I started my business in a recession and I doubled and tripled it during the pandemic. So this is the thing that is going to keep you moving forward. If the times are tough, this is what you need to do when the times are not tough. And every single day when you have to fight with the alarm clock and go, what am I going to do? Where am I going to get my clients from? This is my number one strategy, and this is mindset, right? So the story is Hernando Cortez. I don't know how many of you have heard. He was an explorer from Spain who set out to find the New World and landed in Mexico in 1519 with a very, very, by the time they got there, they didn't realize the magnitude of what they were going to be seeing, and they only had 600 soldiers. As soon as he hit land, he told his men to burn the boats. There's no turning back, he declared. This is it. It's do or die. Now, the army that they were against were many, many-fold bigger than them. But with this strategy, with this mindset, with this declaration that they've decided it's do or die, they have to conquer the land, go all in. They were able to seize and claim the land of Mexico for the Spanish Empire, right? Against the very, very mighty Mayan Empire. So with this very short story and the imagery of burning the boats, I really want to invite you to decide that no matter what the market is doing, whether it's a recession, whether it's the pandemic, whether it's the energy crisis, whether it's the interest rate hikes, whatever it is, you've got to decide that you are about to have your first 100K year, 130K year, 150K year, and you're ready to go all in. There's no turning back. There are no boats that are going to take you home. This is it. So how do you do that? How do you actually decide and go all in? First and foremost, really have some clarity around what is the long-term vision of your business. Why did you pick 100, 130? What do you want that to turn into, right? Where do you see yourself 5 years from now, 10 years from now, maybe even 20 years from now, right? I knew in 2008, with my son being less than 2 years old, where I wanted my family life to be. And I can tell you that just in this December, we just, never mind, I don't have time to go into that story, but have a very clear map. And then that becomes your compass. That becomes your guide to take you into the future, right? So make that commitment to yourself. What is your 20-year goal? And why this business? Why right now? Why are you required to lead this company forward, right? The second advice I'm going to give you is surround yourself with people who will support you without judgment. You really cannot afford to spend time with energy-sucking vampires. I am telling you that. Or those like metaphorical two crabs in a bucket, right? Misery loves company. Do not go into the groups where people just want to commiserate. Find yourself a group, a coach, a mastermind, a buddy, a partner who is going to lift you up, right? Don't want to be the one who's lifting others up too. It has to be mutual. So sometimes we have to pay for it, right? Sometimes you have to go and join a mastermind or an accountability group. And that's great. I've done both. I've tried free and it didn't work for me. I always work with a coach who is constantly pulling me and up-leveling me to wherever it is that I set my goals to. And we've really seen the benefit of that even in our company too, right? We've had people, like I said, somebody who started with 75,000, no shame in that, and half a year of 2020 to making $750,000 in just 2.5 years. And that didn't come from 10xing her marketing or spending more on videos. It came from having that support and the guidance. So you don't need that toxicity. You need someone who's a squad. If you feel like, okay, I don't want to be in a group and whatever, here's a great tip. Make your kids your accountability partner. Tell them to cheer you on, tell them to support you, and say, if we hit this goal, we're going to go to Disney World. And guess what? They're going to be so championing your goal. They're going to be right on top of you. Number 3 is commit to a daily practice that brings you closer to your goal. So have a daily, weekly, monthly, quarterly game plan. Don't just kind of let the year go flying by. And then it's September and you go, oof, where did the time go, right? Don't be that. Have a plan and implement. This is what I do daily. This is what I do on a weekly basis. This is where I check my numbers every day. Speaking of numbers, did I just skip over a whole OMG?
Hey, Salimah. Yeah, you did. It's okay. I'm not going to interrupt you. You were ramping up.
Oh my God.
So I wanted you to let you finish, and then I was going to get you to circle back.
Oh my gosh. So this is really, really big, right? So number 2, oh my goodness, I feel so bad. Number 2, I'm glad we caught it, is to focus on profits only. Sorry, guys. You're going to have a lot of people saying during a recession, you need to cut your costs. And that's good advice all year round. Doesn't require a recession for you to cut costs. But I've also been of a belief that that's playing defense. When you're forced to cut costs, you're forced to make some compromises. You're forced to kind of, give up your daily latte, maybe, make do with less. And that is really like the defense mentality. And it doesn't serve us. I've always felt that cutting costs or maybe trying to save $1,000 can sometimes be harder, and it's way easier to make $2,000 or $5,000 a client. You need to focus your energy on doing the right things. So what are those right things? Number 1, understand what is the most profitable package in your business. Chances are design consultation fee is not a profitable package, but you do need to charge for design fees. So what is that? And how can you scale it? Many of you guys get really scared about doing full service design. So I'm not going to push that on you, but there's got to be the thing that is making you more money, and not talking about making money while you sleep. I'm talking about your design packages. And if you're not there yet, really, really understand the principles behind charging premium fees. Really look at your fees where you are today. Clients want to pay a premium fee because they know that they're hiring the best of the best. And this is still true even in a recession. They're not looking to cut costs. They're not going with the lowest denominator of a designer because it's a recession. They're not going to put their hard-earned money behind someone who doesn't understand the design principles. So why are you not charging for the value that you deliver? Getting off the soapbox, but you really need to start charging premium fees for the value that you're delivering. And if you're not sure about that, come talk to us. We'll help you with your pricing. You really have to get a handle of your pricing. The third thing is adding new income streams. Not talking about replacing your design business with completely passive income, but run your design business and start thinking about adding multiple income streams. Diversify your portfolio, diversify your revenue. And with that, and I'm not going to take too much time on this, but Mydoma had a great webinar with Tana, and she talked about how she's leveraging the renders. All of you guys, if you're not on Next, I don't know what you're waiting for, but start leveraging the renders and start creating paid sales funnels behind those. She talks about this really amazing golden nugget in there. And we, inside our Fully Booked Designer program, are now teaching our clients, based off of that, how to create that whole marketing engine behind your renders. So if you already have the capability of designing renders, you want to learn how to make that into an income stream, again, come talk to us. But this is critical. You don't want to be the sitting duck in a time of recession. You want to diversify your portfolio. You want to diversify your income streams. And also create some habits around understanding the profits and losses of your business. How many times do you look at your numbers? How much revenue you're collecting? How profitable your business is? And if there are opportunities to cut costs, yes, by all means, cut trim some of the fat. But that's not my first strategy that I was going to share with you. Don't focus on cost cutting because you're just going to go into defense and you're still going to have the problem of I don't have a client. You need to leverage all the other strategies to get the clients and then also look at profitability in your business. So now I've just totally botched up my presentation, but we talked about deciding and going all in, committing to a daily practice. And that's my 5 strategies. To recap what we talked about, number 1, become the local market expert. Number 2, embrace multi-channel strategy. Don't just focus on one. You need to be all omnipresent. Number 3, become a video-first company. It's a video-first communication strategy. Start thinking about where can you change all the emails to a video. It's easier, it's faster, it's where people are at. You saw already on the numbers how many people are already on it. Number 4, profits first, cost cutting second. Number 5, decide and go all in. Now, I can't tell you how much I love you guys, love talking to you guys. I apologize for messing up the flow of the slides. Sarah, hopefully you'll have me back. But I also wanted to share an amazing offer with you guys. We don't normally do this. We only do this. We rarely do this. And so for those of you who are in this presentation or watching this on replay, If you're interested in learning more about what Fully Booked Designer does and how we help designers make hundreds of thousands of dollars, even during the pandemic, even when the times are tough, when they're starting out, whether they're veteran business owners, book a call with us and see if we're the right fit for you. And mention that you saw me on this presentation, and we will gladly give you $500 off any one of our suitable programs for you. Cool. So the thing to do is go to this link and book a call before this Sunday, January 22nd. I've opened up my calendar. So you got to go to fullybookeddesigner.com/Mydoma. I love you guys. So yeah, questions.
Hello. That was really
I'm
good.
so sorry.
Don't be sorry, it happened. We just didn't want to mess up your flow. Because somebody said it. I'm like, oh, what was 2? Like,
Somebody was paying attention. They get it.
yeah, and then
They get a shiny new car.
I'm like, no, she didn't miss 2. But remember, I have your slides open in another tab. So I go back and I'm looking like, nope, we missed 2. But we didn't want to interrupt your flow. So it happens to the best of us. And especially, I have been in your place using Canva. And if you click, it can go too fast.
Yes.
Yeah,
It's
I'm
a
sure that's
super
what
cool
happened. It just,
sucker.
yeah, that it went ahead of where you wanted. Amazing presentation.
Thank you.
I've been taking notes because we have a couple of questions, some good questions that came in. You did answer some of them like throughout the chat, so we don't need to ask them again. But let me grab a few of them.
There's
for
one from
you.
Jen about what content goes into an email blast.
Yes. Funny.
So Jen, what I would recommend is you can do quite a few things. Every month you may want to consider, like, just to make your life easy, make a list at the beginning of the year of 12 topics that you want to share with your followers each month. And so, you know, for 12 months of the year, this is my theme. Let's say if you do full service renovation or you do kitchens and baths, by far my favorite because I can come up with examples easy. So you may want to 1 month talk about the planning and what's involved. You may want to 1 month talk about budgeting, what's trending, you know, where to save, where to splurge, how to create your team, right? Like the contractor and all of the builders and all that stuff. So now you've got 12 themes. And then for each month, you're going to start out by creating a big piece of content. Like I said, that educational video, you could do an educational video and send it out just as a link to your e-blast. And then you can also do that same content. You can make it like a PDF if you prefer. You can make it like you can post it on your YouTube channel. You can put it on your e-blast and blog and all of those things. So everywhere you're going to post it. And then you're going to also splinter that same content because you're going to be talking in it for at least 20 minutes. You can have 10 good videos coming out of it, like 10. If you've seen me on Instagram, that's what we do. I sit there with my iPhone and I talk for about 20 minutes on a topic. My rants, my ideas, my suggestions, and then I send it to a video editor and he splices it into whatever he can make out of it. And then there's like captions and there's emojis, and people love seeing that kind of stuff. So now you've got a whole month's content based out of that one theme.
That's great. I'm going to build off of that question before I ask you the next one. You talked a lot about going local, whereas we're recession proofing. So from that idea of creating this content around 12 topics, kitchen and bath, like, how do you feel about, you know, layering on the level of local on top of that? So if we're talking about the planning stage, right, or picking your favorite vendors or whatever piece it is, would you recommend designers, you know, pull in local vendors to talk about them or different?
So your one topic, if let's say it's about budget planning, right, that month, then one of your other videos, one of your other blogs, one of your other e-blasts can be about some local resources where you can save a lot, right? Or how to leverage this resource and save big on your renovation. And then you're featuring this local name that everybody can relate to. You're able to then leverage their traffic and their followers. There's a lot of goodness out of that one. So I would add that as another layer to this, whatever theme it is, right? And so if your theme is like, let's say you're still doing renovation and your theme for March is like what's trending in countertops. So you're going to do a video piece, or you're going to do a written PDF or a blog or whatever, and you're going to talk about quartz, and you're going to talk about waterfall styles and all of this. And then one of those pieces could be, and here's a resource, like here's my source that I go to, and here's 5 questions I asked my tile guy of what's trending. So now you've got more content, you've got other people creating content for you. So it just keeps going. Just have to think of it from a high level first, plan it out, and then it's very easy to execute.
Thank you. I got a couple more questions that build off of that.
Yeah.
When you're talking about the email marketing, they're a little particular about this. Is it similar to a newsletter, or do you find, or how would you differentiate them?
You can do it either way. I mean, I guess email marketing can be sometimes it's more of an umbrella term, and e-newsletter is one of the things, right? So in e-newsletter, sometimes you put in a couple of different content, and I don't think you should put it all in one e-newsletter. You can like send out, if I can take 4 pieces of content that I would have thrown into an e-newsletter, and then it's like my one chance to talk to my base once a month, I would spread it across 4 different pieces of content and send out 4 emails. Every Friday, you've got a roundup, right? So you can talk about your monthly theme. You can talk about a project that you just completed. You can talk about a case study that was like maybe a little bit older project, but you can bring that forward. You can talk about even something that's happening on social media that maybe blew up. You talked about, you did an interview or a walkthrough of a local showroom, and everyone's like commenting on it. Then you can send out an e-newsletter just in case, if you missed it, there's like a great conversation going on in my social media channel. You know, have fun with it. It doesn't have to be that squared up kind of a plan.
Thanks. When we're talking about blog posts, do you have a recommendation of how long one should be?
No, I don't. And so you've got and I highly encourage that you just start and you play with it yourself. And I'm not doing this as a cop-out answer. I'd rather see you guys do like a 600-word blog post or a quick video blog post that gets transcribed and into a blog post, rather than something that just sits on the shelf and you're still looking for more ideas and more content. Like, make it easy for yourself. Like, you could probably auto dictate a lot of the content and have a copywriter or chat GPT to streamline it for you, to like edit it for you. You can leverage AI now and really help get more content out there faster, rather than getting tangled about like, it's not quite 800 words. And Salimah said it must be 800 words. I don't want to like restrict you. I really want you to go out there and share your knowledge. People are looking for experts, right? So get out there and share your expertise and start talking about what you already know and love. You can do this in your sleep.
Yeah. I'm going to ask you another question that you just inspired me by. Do you have an opinion on AI and how they should leverage it or not leverage it, or how do you feel about it?
Well,
If a content creator.
I know. I'm going to tell you, I spent 2.5 hours yesterday learning Chat GPT, and that was spent on figuring out what's the right screen I should be on. Now, trends come and go, right? There was this Clubhouse thing. Everybody remember Clubhouse, right? What happened to it? I think it's still early phases for us to kind of give the definitive, answers to this thing, but use it wisely. I mean, it's Chat GPT and other parts of AI. You can create renders. You guys know this, right? You can do this now on AI, artificial intelligence. Use it as tools. I'm not there yet. I'm not falling for this whole doom and gloom, like they're going to replace people and they're going to do this and stuff. I'm here to learn how I can use this to improve my efficiency, my productivity. I still feel that these AI tools are only as good as the instructions you give them. Just like putting in the GPS in your car, right? Before, people were like, we were all used to those CAA and AAA maps. Remember those? And writing instructions. Now you just type in the coordinates and it takes you there. And then came Waze, and Waze can tell you live, like there's an accident here, so avoid this road and this and that. So there's always going to be improvements, and there's always going to be changes, how you embrace it. I can't tell you like you need to go all into it right now, but if it helps you write content faster or, makes you more efficient, people are now using it to generate headlines for their lead magnets. They're using it to generate topics and ideas of what my clients might be looking for. You can ask them to come up with 10 headlines for a bathroom renovation ad, and they'll give you amazing stuff. Like I've seen some of the stuff that was really, really good. And I even said, okay, in the voice of Tony Robbins, and it was like totally, it sounded like Tony. So yeah.
That's fun.
It's only as good as the instructions you give it though.
Good advice though. Really, it's a tool and how you leverage that tool.
Yeah.
Let me just take a peek because you give such good answers. Yeah, it was mostly about emails, lots on the emails and newsletters. You got lots of responses around the move to video. Last but not least, do you have any opinion around the use of TikTok? Have you had any designers have success with it? And in what ways have you seen that success?
I'll give you my own feedback on it. One of the things that I learned from my coach is he's a big believer in like, let me learn, let me make the mistakes, and then I'll show you if it's worth it or not. And he works with very high level coaches himself. And he spent a lot of time and money learning TikTok. And then he's like, wait a minute, we're getting really good quality leads from TikTok, people like yourself, right? So we all started to embrace TikTok. I spent about 4 months on TikTok posting content and ran some ads. I did see a little bit of traction in it, but I didn't see it enough to share it with my clients. Okay. So yes, if you've mastered Instagram and Facebook, by the way, Facebook was like becoming getting a little slow in terms of uptick and response, and just we're all about lead generation and response generation. But since I would say December, it's coming back up. I think Instagram is going to have a little bit of a moment in 2023. I wouldn't move my resources away from Instagram yet, but it is, they were trying to replicate the reels and the videos like TikTok. And so it became like a video first channel and all of this stuff, and people backlashed and stuff. So I think Instagram is going to have some rethink. And so in that time, Facebook is coming back up. So Facebook should be on your plate. Instagram should stay on your plate, and I would add YouTube.
Oh, add YouTube. That's what you said.
I would add YouTube before I go into TikTok. YouTube is very strong for us and our clients.
Thank you. And then last but not least, if you had to pick one of your tips, do you have one favorite or one that leads over the others? I mean, I know they're all good and it's a loaded question.
Look, they're all different. My favorite, I know it's not sexy. It's number 5.
Yeah.
It's number 5. I have seen this in my own experience where my mindset was all over the map. I wanted to have things happen faster, or I wanted to have, I was just in a constant war with myself and my business, right? Comparing myself with other people, not being happy with the results, not being happy with the leads that were coming in. And it led me to 1 month where we had 0 sales, $0 revenue. And I have a pretty expensive team to pay payroll for. And it was not because we didn't have leads coming in. Marketing was doing its thing. My messaging was out there. We had 66 calls booked that month. And really had to get back into, the right mindset, showing up as a CEO, showing up for myself, my family, my team, and my clients. And the next month was one of our biggest months in November, and with 1/3 of the leads coming in. I've given you these examples of people. I don't do that for like show and tell and like rah, rah, rah. These are like, it's mind-boggling what we have seen when people decide that they're no longer going to play small. They decide that they're not going to give in to the fear. They decide that this is the year for them, regardless of what the market is going to do. They decide that, you know what, I've done the corporate 9 to 5. I've tried to figure out and cobble together my own marketing myself. I need to like go all in. And then we had people making $250,000 in their first year. Yes, marketing has to be there, and all of those things are going to help you. But the one thing that's really my favorite, and I've seen it, is number 5. And that comes with discipline as well. You can't just sit there and have this like, manifest your business without taking the action, right? Like, me, Sarah, I'm not going to give you that advice, right? There has to be an action and a plan behind it. But this suffering and this daily, like, beating ourselves up for not making the results, that's unnecessary. That doesn't even need to be the plan. And so how do you really like eliminate that internal chatter and have a little bit more like joy, and then that turns into amazing results.
Couldn't have said it better. I think that's perfect. It's a great way to wrap up. I think that was an incredible presentation. Despite skipping one and having to come back, you're a pro. Thank you for all of your great questions, for everybody who took time out of their busy days to come and listen to Salimah speak. It's always such a joy. As you can see in the chat, great presentation. Everybody loves you.
Thank you.
And we will absolutely have you back. So don't have to worry about that.
I love being here, honestly.
We love having you here. They're always such great presentations.
Yes.
And with that, we can wrap up for the day, and the recording will be sent out shortly to anybody who couldn't attend with us live. And Salimah, did you have any last words?
My last 2 words: if you haven't done the next upgrade, like do it now. And I'm not just saying that, honestly, I don't get paid for this, right? Like, I don't.
No, she doesn't.
I'm saying this because Sarah and I were having this banter, not banter, we were just catching up because we haven't seen each other since before the holidays. And I had my next level retreat in December where we were talking about Mydoma and some of the new features and stuff. And I sent an email to Sarah right after that presentation because I was like, I wish as a founder you could see those who are using Mydoma and they're using it well, like the level of confidence that they have in themselves and their business. And it's like there were people who were non-users, so they were asking questions, and the users were like, before they even finished the sentence, they had an answer. It's like, yeah, I know it is. Yep. And I'm telling you, I was cavelling for you. It was such a sweet moment. It was just really nice. So
thank you.
And I don't know in this chat or even in the replay how many people are taking advantage of this tool. Like, you really need to make this a big part of your systems and processes. And the second one is, don't forget to book your call if you're interested in learning about Fully Booked Designer. It's fullybookeddesigner.com/Mydoma. I've opened up some time slots for you guys on Saturday. I don't normally do that.
No,
So
that's
book
very
your
nice of you.
time, and love to meet with you and chat and see what your plans are for this year, and if we can help you generate that kind of an income and get you the clients. Would love to work with you.
Thank you again, Salimah.
Thank you for having me.
And we'll talk to you soon.